As you know, I'm trying to qual for a solo victory Cash Cup final, and this week was not the best week, so I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes as well. If you want to win 5,000 V-Bucks, check out the video link in the description. It's only active before the new year. Thanks, and let's get right into it. In this first game, I did a couple things very well. I landed, got some great loot, then when I realised this fight inside this house was dodgy, I got out. More than that, I got out successfully and he left me alone. I was proud of this play because I swallowed the ego and I got away safely from it. I got taken some starting damage off by this guy who I believe was hiding in a tree, though we might never know. I'm gonna be honest, I was bullying this guy. This guy was getting absolutely worked by me and the fight would not have lasted much longer if it wasn't for the third party. I can't be blaming the third party because I reckon I could have finished this fight off even faster. However, I believe the third party came at an unfortunate time, and the third party adding an element of unknown to the fight. A fight that I definitely would have won, by the way. To avoid this fight, I should have rotated a little more out of the way. I was right in the middle of the map, and I was kind of running around aimlessly. I probably should have either dipped from this fight at this point when the third player came in, or I should have not been rotating in the first place. I should have just decided to camp in a bush or a building. I'm actually getting decent tags to both players here, expanding out the box, and as you can see, I killed the first guy that I was originally fighting, but I stopped for some reason. I go back for the loot. I should not have gone back for the loot. That was a perfect opportunity. If I'd have reacted immediately and gone out of the box, then I might have survived this situation and got away alive. But I didn't. There were multiple bad decisions in this fight, and that's why I went down in game 1. After finding this guy randomly off spawn, I managed to get away. He was in my box and I took 80 damage. I was about to start fighting because I had the health advantage, but I saw an extra set of footsteps, so I knew a third party was approaching. I then worked to get inside the building and worked on getting some counter shots. I managed to get a great sneak on guy 1 though, and it happened when he was kind of like moving against the other player, and I got a shot through the window as well, which he was not expecting and took him right off guard. Super great way to play angles. Then the other guy pushed and I had another third party coming in from the side. I decided the best course of action was to surprise the first guy and jump in. I did not stick around for the loot because I learned from last game, if you stick around for the loot when you're less than 150 HP, it's gonna go bad. And luckily, because I learned my mistake, it didn't happen. But the third party was really safeguarding that loot and I had to sneak through this door to get the extra wood that he left behind. Then knew he was camping on the roof, so I snuck up onto the roof and managed to win the fight. Bro got bullied. Ha ha ha. I decided that this game I was going to go for Island. It spawned about 300-400 meters away and I just went for it. The grapple meant I was able to get to it pretty easily, and I was actually the first one there because I started going the moment it pulled. I got the full metal box around it and I was looking so chilling, but I made a vital mistake of not bringing medkits up to the island. Everyone knows this season that the island is most likely going to be storm contested as it gives you 15 points. And I ended up in storm with nothing but 2 bigs and 6 minis, trying to find the other person that was in the circle. They were actually underneath, and apparently that counts as being in the circle, which I didn't know at the time. So I eventually gave up because I couldn't find them and just dipped out of there, even if I was completely almost got the island. It was a smart move to dip, however not bringing medkits to the island fight was stupid. You might be thinking, it's okay, he made it top 14, he's in endgame right now, it's an easy first game, he should be able to top 5 here. That was until I started pushing a random guy on the edge of zone. I thought he was bad because he was in a brick box just on the edge of zone, and he was, in my defense. However, I judged the fight really poorly and made a ton of bad decisions, like not thinking he'd be in the cone, taking starting damage, and making that stupid edit, whatever that was. He took my wall first try, but I got a lot of counter damage off that, and it was actually looking good for me to come back and win the fight. But my lack of awareness caught me off guard again, as my edit ended up being the edit that allowed him to slip out the box and catch me off guard. To say I was disappointed in myself was a bit of an understatement. That should have been an easy end game and I threw it away by pushing someone for a refresh I didn't even need. Make sure you pop and go JKC guys, it is the Christmas time and it really helps me out a ton during this time of year. Thank you to everyone using the code, and let's go into game number 3. In game 3 I had 2 people contesting me off spawn. I followed this guy into this house because I thought I had better loot, and in my defense I definitely did. I was 50 health, 50 shield, and I knew he was there. I slid past the door and made quick work of this fight, or would have if the kill hadn't been stolen. I didn't go for the loot as my teachings had taught me from the previous matches. I instead decided to get away and heal, which was a smart idea. But what I didn't realise was my bad awareness would catch me off guard again as I went to buy big pots. It was a big break.
No, bro.
But
I'm actually so bad.
awareness really killed me off, as there was another player that was all too easy to see if I wasn't tunnel visioned on the vending machine. Awareness is clearly a big thing for me that I'm discovering today, and I'll be working to stop my bad awareness. In game 4, I should have got the starting damage off this guy, but I was a little bit slow with my aim and I was trying to hit the perfect shot instead of just taking the starting damage hits I could take. This guy was a good player and had a gold burst SMG, making it incredibly easy for him to take all of my walls. So I played this fight super slow, made sure to play from multiple metal boxes, and just made sure he wasn't able to jump in on me because that thing does 29 damage and it is an SMG. I just played really slow, as I said, and when the opportunity was right, I took it, and it took him off guard. Let's just say that. This guy was caught. I ended up finishing this fight, which I was really proud of, getting the gold at Thunderburst SMG, and it was definitely one of my better fights in the tournament. Island spawns 900 meters away. What do you think Jacob does? 1. He leaves the island alone because of 25 people left, he has no medkits, and he's 900 meters away? Or 2. Despite what happened the other game, he goes to Get Island with no medkits and possibly throws his game. If you guessed 2, that was the right answer. I once again went to Get Island with no medkits. I'm so stupid. I don't know what I was doing. I was playing this island fight so well. I had the gold burst SMG that was putting in bits on this guy's wall. Even though I started on the edge of the flag, I managed to get straight through the flag and claim everything. However, my lack of medkits proved unworthy for the task. In Storm, I did eventually get this guy. I would have killed him except I choked a little bit. I pulled him into my box quite nicely, and when he was in there I hit 28 damage from my shotgun and then panicked really hard and then ended up going down. This was not a good look, and the second time I've gone down to Island this tournament. I think next tournament I'm going to go for Island once if I have 3 medkits and then not go for it again. If I die the first time, I'm not going to keep chasing something that I'm clearly not destined to get. Can you guess what my plan was for game 5? Well, before I reveal that, let me just talk about this fight. We hit him 70 straight off the bat, and that was great. Honestly, the starting damage I got here was pretty wonderful. It was more than I expected, and I was very happy with it. We then got in a build fight. He decided that he couldn't build fight it and decided to dip into the tunnel. It was slightly dodgy for a second, but then I realised I had an auto shotgun and should just be jumping in anyway, you know. It's an auto shotgun. We then went up, had a little bit of a box fight. Then I jumped in after pre-firing him. Not much to say about this fight. I played it pretty well in my opinion, and he didn't really have a chance in the end. My plan formulated straight after I killed him and realised this guy had 3 medkits to his name. I then decided that because I now have 3 medkits, I would be going for Island, which is completely stupid. If I had 3 medkits in game 1 and went for Island, that would be wonderful, but I didn't, and I died because of it. I'd now gone for Island twice in vain, and going it for a 3rd time would not be very beneficial. I died twice trying to get the 15 points from Island, where I'd probably thrown about 40 because I died twice. And now I was going to try it again, but I'm pleased and sad to say my plan was foiled by the mythic AR holder about a minute after the first fight. The third party spraying out of nowhere did not help matters, but I kind of lost my mind while spraying it as wall. With 2 matches left and 37 points, it's not looking good. I bet you can guess my plan for game 6, however let's go over this spawn fight first. I took a lot of damage which I shouldn't have taken in the first kind of 5 seconds of the fight. From then it was defensive play. He used the ramp exploit to get in, and I used a pre-fire to surprise him. That's our last grasp attempt at redemption in that fight, and it ended up working really well. It surprised him, and it's something you can do when you're weak. Pushing is the last thing they'd expect from a very weak player, and it actually ended up catching him off guard as I moved layers, and it killed him. My plan was to go for Island this game, but not before I killed this camper. He was running around this house just aimlessly for about 5 minutes, and I finally managed to take him down. He was a better player than I thought, and I don't know why he was sitting there camping in the house for so long. I get camping in the house, but if the person clearly knows you're there, why are you still camping in the house? Stupid stuff. I managed to take him down anyway, and it was time to attempt to get Island. If there's one thing I've learned from this tournament, guys, one thing at all, it is don't go for island every game. If it fails once, don't do it again. That, and what happened in my first game, not sitting on loot of the player you just killed. Move off it immediately in case third parties come. Right before island pop, this guy fought me and I surprised him with the weak player maneuver again, a ploy that most of the time works. I then had 3 medkits and was ready to take on island. To give you an idea of how delusional I was to try and get island at this state in the tournament, this is a fast motion clip of what was happening. I had 3 medkits and there was 3 people around me all at the same time. You need to literally have infinite medkits to keep this island, probably like 6 and you've got it. But I tried to push this guy and missed my shot. Ended up sitting beneath a cone like an absolute numpty and ended up going down because I tried to pop a medkit right in front of him without resetting any walls. I know, I blanked a little bit, and that can happen in a storm, I'm fully aware of that, but trying to go for island in game 6 was so stupid. I don't know why I was doing it, I'm going to be real with you. Another thing I could have done better was that cone I was sitting beneath. I should have reset it because that's an extra layer between me and the opponent. At the moment I'm kind of trapped in my own builds. Just an observation though. Disaster struck in game 7 as I tried to sneak up a staircase, which was a good play except I did it on the left hand peak and I thought this ramp was mine, tried to flip it and ended up dying. Not a good end to the tournament, however I do think this tournament had more positives than I remember, and I appreciate if you go watch this video right here, which was my first part of this series, where I had a slightly better tournament and actually made it to an end game. I hope you were able to learn from some of my mistakes, and I'll see you in the next one guys. Have a good one.